In Wrath of the Lich King Classic, after you kill certain enemies, you can right-click them to interact with the target, and utilizing your engineering skill, you can receive some extra loot. This loot is usually not great, mostly gray items which vendor for a small amount of silver. However, on bosses which are of the mechanical persuasion, the spoils will be much greater indeed. Currently in Phase 4, which opened up Icecrown Citadel, we have also been introduced to weekly quests for the first time. These weekly quests will often have you venturing into Ulduar once again.
Oh, no.
But only for a short moment to kill a handful of the first bosses such as Flame Leviathan, Ignis, or XT, and probably Razor Scale. I haven't seen that one yet. Regardless of who you are killing, you're going to first have to at least go through Flame Leviathan, which is, of course, a mechanical boss. The beauty of right-click interacting with these bosses is that anybody can do this, no matter who is the raid leader, and no matter what the loot rules are. And once one person has done it first, nobody else can do it afterwards. Some people don't even bother with it, others stand around and furiously spam right-click, but what if I told you that there was a better way? To almost guarantee the successful yoink of these mats every time. If you go into your game settings and simply type the word interact, you will find a few options dedicated to this. Click Enable Interact Key, and then bind Interact with Target to some combination of a few keys plus mouse wheel up and down, just to ensure that you never accidentally press this when you don't mean to. As you can see, I've simply done Control Shift mouse wheel up and down. Join a weekly group or form one yourself, kill the boss, stand near the boss, and wait for all the loot to be rolled, because you can only do this after the target has been fully looted. Stand in the center of the boss's unit circle, target the dead boss, and then scroll up and down as fast as you can. Once the last person finally passes or hits green on all the loot, you can easily yoink all the mats for yourself. Now let's keep in mind to not be truly evil. Although yes, we are employing a strategy that makes it significantly more difficult for anybody to compete with us. It's important to remember that we could be kicked from the group at any point, and if, for example, our quest is to kill XT, but we first yoink the mats from Flame Leviathan, the raid leader could be slightly upset with us, and ruin our chances at completing the weekly quest, because we are of course already locked to the raid leader's ID. For this reason, I suggest you adhering to any rules put into raid chat at the raid leader's discretion, such as we will roll off the engineering mats, or I am the raid leader, I get the engineering mats. You could of course circumvent this yourself by simply being the raid leader. But in my experience, after doing about 15 or so of these groups now, not a single group has discussed these mats at all. They've all just been up for grabs to he who has the quickest fingers. So how well does this work? Well, I have a total of 6 level 80 characters right now. 5 of them have engineering. I started using this mouse wheel interact trick after failing the salvage on 2 of my 5 characters with engineering. But since I started using this trick, I was able to successfully salvage Flame Leviathan and XT 3 times in a row, with some competition standing next to me at the boss each time. And the only repercussion I faced from doing this was some DK player typing /spit. And what were the spoils? Well, as you can see, I think I actually got pretty unlucky. Not all of the types of items you can get here are always good. Some things like Eternal Shadow, for example, are pretty cheap. What you really want to see is Eternal Fires, or Titan Steel Bars. Also, it's possible to get a reagent for the Mechanohog engineering mount. This reagent can only be obtained from salvaging Flame Leviathan or purchased from a vendor for 3,000 gold. And it can of course be sold on the auction house. I have actually gotten this before from salvaging Flame Leviathan, and I sold it for 2,500 gold, but from these 3 particular weeklies that I did here, I ended up getting slightly over 700 gold total. Not bad considering it took me less than 1 hour, and I got some Frost Emblems and Triumph Emblems in the process. So that's it. Thanks for watching, and good luck scrolling your mouse wheel faster than the rest of them.